On this vote, the yeas are 71 and the nays are 19. The 60-vote threshold having been achieved, the motion to concur is agreed to.
Look at this. Overnight, U.S. Senate passes a stopgap funding bill to avert a government shutdown, and that is going to give them a week's worth of more time to finish the omnibus bill, which they want to include in it. Take a look. They want to include restoring the full child tax credits, those payments to parents, monthly checks, also earned income tax credits, EITCs, or adult tax credits. You don't have to have kids to get this benefit, just like the child tax credit, but you don't need children. And also the TCJA, business tax breaks, all of these under negotiation to be included in this spending bill. Now, are they going to include these stimulus provisions that have been promised for so long? We will see. I'm going to get you caught up on the latest. This is your breaking news stimulus update. Now, we're going to see, because take a look, Republicans are having trouble agreeing amongst themselves. And I've got some video footage here in just a second for you, as you're going to be hearing from McCarthy, as take a look. McCarthy, McConnell find they're once again not on the same page. As McConnell, right now, he's working with the Democrats, trying to help them pass the stopgap funding bill, continue on to get the omnibus bill done before the end of the year. And McCarthy is saying, why are you doing that? You're going to see the video footage where he says Democrats have not gotten things done for the past 2 years while they've been in full control. Why do you want to help them out now when we are just weeks away from being in full control? And he's saying, pass a stopgap funding bill, extend it out till 2023, and then in 2023, when Republicans control the House and have a little bit more leverage and say in what's going to be passed, then get something done. Let me know your thoughts. I'm going to share with you the video footage we're going to be seeing, and also take a look. The Senate's been busy, passed $858 billion for the defense policy bill and the stopgap spending bill, as I just mentioned. Now, that means in this defense bill, $858 billion, they're sending literally billions of dollars overseas to Ukraine and other countries to help them out. And that's great, but a lot of people are wondering, what about here in the United States? There's a lot of people that are still hurting. What about stimulus provisions that have been promised? What about stimulus checks, child tax credits, adult tax credits, Social Security increases, free childcare, free college tuition, student loan debt being wiped out, all of these promises unfulfilled? Well, you guys, I'm going to keep you up to date, let you know the latest. Right now, child tax credits, adult tax credits, they're in the forefront, trying to get included in this omnibus bill. And then next year, we're hearing, as we enter into 2023, just weeks away, Social Security increases, other provisions, they're going to get pushed to the forefront. Now, we will see, because there's going to be some negotiations needed to get this done, as Republicans are going to be taking over the House, and Democrats can no longer just push through their agenda items. We will see. I will keep you up to date, but let's take a look at the video footage. And before we do me a quick favor, smash the like button if you appreciate the content. Hit subscribe to stay up to date. I'll keep you up to speed on everything going on. And with that being said, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look.
All right, now let's turn to Washington, where a government shutdown has been avoided for now. Lawmakers agreed to a stopgap funding bill to keep the government open for one more week. The Senate approved the measure last night as they work towards hammering out a longer-term deal that would fund the government for all of 2023. NBC News White House correspondent Ali Rafa joins us now for more on this, as well as a couple other happenings on Capitol Hill. Ali, good morning. Good to have you with us. So walk us through how this short-term spending measure came together in the Senate last night and how it sets up negotiations to get that more comprehensive bill for next year passed by the end of next week.
Yeah, Savannah, good morning. This short-term stopgap bill is now on its way to President Biden's desk to be signed into law. And like you mentioned, it avoids a government shutdown for now, because government funding was originally slated to expire at midnight tonight. But negotiations for this longer-term omnibus to be able to fund the government through September of 2023 are now in overdrive, because negotiators know they only have 1 week left to be able to do this. Now the government is only funded till December 23rd. And with the holidays coming just around the corner, you can imagine how eager lawmakers are to get this behind them. So the Senate will be back on Capitol Hill next week to get this done. We know they announced on Tuesday they already have an agreement on a framework that includes defense spending. What they're still negotiating is that overall funding number, which right now is hovering right around $1.7 trillion, Savannah.
Now, we just heard them mention that the U.S. Senate passed this 71-19 yesterday. This is the stopgap funding bill to avoid the deadline that was going to be at midnight tonight. and this is going to allow them a week's worth of more time to work on the official bill. So the next step we're going to be seeing next week is to try to approve this $1.7 trillion that's going to be going out till September 30th of 2023. And Schumer said this is about taking a very simple, exceedingly responsible step to ensure that we finish the year without hiccups and with minimal drama. A 1-week CR will give us more time so that way we can keep working to get done with the funding bill. So let me know your thoughts, but there's some saying we should not be doing this. And this is Kevin McCarthy in the House, who's expected to become the Speaker. Let me know your thoughts, you guys. Take a look at what they have to say.
Now the question is why are Mitch McConnell and Senate Republicans looking to help Democrats with their massive spending spree when all they should be agreeing to is a short-term continuing resolution to fund the government so the new GOP-controlled House will have a say? And my advice is to call up every Republican senator and say no to any omnibus spending bill that helps Schumer and the Socialist Democrats. Why any Republican would ever go along with that is madness. Joining me now, GOP leader Kevin McCarthy. Before I get to the omnibus part, Hunter Biden went up to you and your mom. How'd that go?
He didn't come up to me. He came up to my 82-year-old mother that's a little hard of hearing and recently recovering from cancer. He shook her hand and said something, but I'm not quite sure my mom knew who he was, so I don't quite understand what they said.
Okay, let me go to this omnibus spending bill. We've had since 1954 5 changes in terms of power and control in the House of Representatives. Not one time have we ever passed an omnibus spending bill in the interim before the new Congress was sworn in. Why would Republican senators, especially in light of the fact we just hit, $31 trillion in debt, why would they go along with Chuck Schumer and this reckless spending of the Democratic Socialist Party and not wait until you can be a check and a balance to any money that is spent? Why would they do that? Why would the Republican senators go along with that?
Well, I'd hope they would not. And for all your viewers, what's an omnibus mean? It means the 12 appropriations, all the domestic spending that you believe in from the Department of Agriculture and others. And what they're doing is the 2 people who lead this in appropriations, Senator Leahy and Senator Shelby, will no longer be here in 21 days. They did not run for re-election. So there's no way that the taxpayer or the constituent can hold them accountable for what they're about to do. Why wouldn't you wait 21 more days? What they're talking about is adding the baseline, meaning where would we start in the next year? They want to increase it somewhere between $90 and $130 billion. Instead of saving money, instead of cutting back in this world of inflation that we have, why wouldn't we, if we do nothing in a CR, we're going to save ourselves almost $100 billion. That's the hard-earned taxpayer money. And are you going to get a time to read it? They're trying to jam us right before Christmas. Why would you ever move forward when there's a change in power in 21 days where Republicans would have a stronger hand? That we wouldn't be talking about adding more money, we'd talk about decreasing. Where would our priorities be? We'd be talking about holding people more accountable, getting rid of the waste, the fraud, and the abuse, making sure the Department of Defense has the resources they need to defend themselves. But that's not going to happen here, because what committee is going to see this? Who's going to bring this up? Are 2 individuals who are leaving the Senate going to write a bill where they add $100 billion more dollars? An individual is going to write it. This is going to be thousands of pages. How would they have any ability?
They won't.
I know why the Democrats want to do it. You've got to understand why the Democrats want to do it. Because if they put on all their direction, all the things they care most about, and we end up in the next year where we can't come to an agreement and you end up with a continuing resolution, all the values that they just put in continue going forward. That's why we should wait and not let the Democrats add any new thing without the American public going through
but to
committee.
be clear, this has to be stopped in the Senate. This has to be Mitch McConnell leading the way. And then when the new Congress, when you are sworn in, when the new Congress is sworn in, you will have the ability to have a say. And you will be able to cut the waste, the fraud, and the abuse, which was part of your commitments to America. That would be your first promise fulfilled, right?
So there you have it, you guys. Let me know your thoughts. Republicans saying that would be their first promise fulfilled, is they're going to stop the fraud, stop the excess spending, all of the issues. They're going to be addressing the needs of the American people, getting things done. Now, let me know your thoughts. I will keep you up to date, but this just passed last night and this upcoming week. Expect to hear a whole lot happening in the Senate, trying to get things done with the omnibus bill. $1.7 trillion of spending. If they can't get it done, they're going to have to do another stopgap. Who knows? It might actually carry into 2023 and McCarthy might get what he wants. Now, in addition to that, all the stimulus provisions, I'm going to keep you guys up to date. And also, we're waiting to see what's going to be happening with the presidential elections for 2024, as new polling is showing some shocking news that if former President Donald Trump ran against Joe Biden, he would actually lose. Biden would win. But some polls are saying now that if Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, ran, that he actually might beat Trump, and they're saying he would beat Biden. Let me know your thoughts. And I shared with you the latest on that right here in this video from yesterday. If you want more information on it, check it out right here. Also, like I said, stimulus, child tax credit, Social Security increases, all the updates. I'll keep you up to speed here on the channel. But with that being said, you guys, thank you so much for joining me. Smash the like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care. God bless. This is Steve.